fermentation starts, we only want in this moment that all the juice come out of the grains. We do nothing, it's only the heavy of the fruit itself that will produce the juice. Okay, in all the stands, this part we can control the temperature because this part is a double wall, it's a jacket. Okay, you understand me?
Yep.
And we can put cold water or hot water between the walls to lower or to rise the temperature. Okay? So after these 5 days, we will see that all the rest of the skin and the seed goes to the surface and form there a mass that we call in Spanish el sombrero. Okay, the hat. But it's like a cake floating in a juice that today is a juice but will be our future wine. So after these 5 days, when we have the hat there, the sombrero, we rise the temperature 20 Celsius degrees and the fermentation starts. The fermentation is the transformation of the sugar of the fruit into alcohol and liberates CO2. And it's made by the yeast. We use native yeast with an added yeast. It's the same yeast that comes in the clusters. Okay? So, when the fermentation starts, begin a lot of work here. One of this work, it is called pumping over. Remontage in French or remontaje in Spanish. Okay? We put a hose here. We connect it to a pump. And then another hose to the same tank. So we're circling the juice. We take juice from the bottom and we put it over this mass of skin and seed. And the wine or the juice pass through this mass, taking all the pigments and the tannins. And the wine gets more red and more dark every pumping over. Okay? So we make this pumping over 3 times a day, in the morning, midday, and the evening, for all the time that we have the fruit inside this tank, more or less 30 days. Do you know rosé wine?
Yeah.
We make rosé here from Syrah and from Pinot Noir. Both are red grapes. And we left the skins with the juice only 6 hours. For red wines, 30 days. 6 hours, 30 days. Okay?
Yeah.
So, near the 30th days, there's no more sugar. All the sugar is consumed by the yeast, and the yeast without food died, and when the yeast died, the fermentation stopped, and when the fermentation stopped, there's no reason to have this wine in this stainless steel tank. We need to take this wine to barrels. Okay? There, we can see barrels there. Okay?
Yes.
We use French oak barrels. We imported every year 200, 300 new barrels directly from France. The barrels we use it 5 years. The first year when the barrels are new is when the barrels gives more aromas and taste of wood to the wine. And every year that we use the barrels, they lose the strength, and when they have 5 years, we said, this barrel is neutral, it don't give anything to the wine, and we say bye-bye barrels, okay? Every year we buy a number of new barrels and we delay the number of old barrels used more than 5 years. The problem is that the barrels are very expensive. Do you know the price for a barrel? 1,000 euros one. We need 200, so imagine the cost. It's a lot of money, okay? So when we need to take a wine from this very, very big tank to barrels, this tank has 16,000 liters of wine, so we need a lot of barrels. And we always use a mix of new and old barrels. So we never put a wine only in new barrels. Veramonte uses a mix of 20% new barrels first year, 80% old barrels. And then after the time in barrels, 8 months, 12 months, 18 months, we put all the barrels together, we mix the wine, and we bottle. So this bottled wine has the 20% of the new barrels and the 80% of the old barrels. Is clear? This gives us a style of wine. In our case, it's a very fruity wine. Never the wood block the fruit. You will feel fruit, different fruits in the different wines, and notes of oak. And we reach this balance using 2080. Perhaps another vineyard prefer a more oaky wine, not so fruity. The only thing that you have to do is to use more new barrels. Not 20% as us, 30, 40, 50, I don't know. The result will be a completely different wine, different style of wine, but I'm not speaking of quality, it's only a different style, okay? Is clear?
Yep.